welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about client-server interaction. So let's get started. So this is the client and this is the server. Who is the client? Client is the user. And what is a server? A server is a piece of computer that gives information to the client. Now, as we know who is the client and what is a server, let's go to Google Chrome. We're going to be going in 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now here, I'm going to be writing a URL. So I'm going to be writing a URL of scratch. https:// scratch.mit.edu. So when I write the URL, after that this website pops up. So what is the process in between when I write the URL and then this website pops up? What is under the hood? Let's discover. Okay, let's go inside the hood and discover this thing. Let's go on Paint. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, let's go. Here we are. So, the client wants to go on the Scratch website. So the computer, as we all need addresses to go to somebody's house, the computer also needs an address to go to the Scratch website. You know, the Scratch server. So it goes to the DNS server to get the address. And here, that address is known as the IP address. And when it gets the IP address, it directly goes to the Scratch server. So the computer goes to the DNS server, asks for the IP address. When it gets the IP address, and then it goes directly to the server. This whole process happens in milliseconds. Very cool, right? Now, I want you to see that here, I have written web server. What do I mean by web server? Why have I written web server? Why is it written web here? Because this server only stores the website. It only stores the website. Only this. So that's why it is known as a website. So this is known as a web server. That's why. It only stores the website. That's why it is known as the web server. Now, as we know why it is known as the web server and what is the process in between when we write the URL and when the website pops up, let's go again to the Google Chrome. Okay, we're going in 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now here, there's a button sign in. When we click on this button, sign in, this kind of screen pops up. Now, this kind of. It asks for the username and the password. So if I write the username as subscribe to, and the password Tech Girl, do subscribe to Tech Girl and hit the notification bell and like the video. Now, I've written the username and password. I'm going to sign in. But just as I told you, the Scratch site that you all see, the web server, the Scratch server, that only stores the data of the website, no other data. So how does it verify that the username and the password are correct? For that, there is another site, there's another server known as the database server. Okay, it's known as the database server. It stores all the data, and this stores the website. So the web server sends the request to the database server, and then the database server says, yes, the username and password are correct, and then the web server lets you into your account. What if your username or your password is incorrect? The database server will say, no, there's no existing username and password like this. So the web server will say that either your password or your username is incorrect. Now if you want to make an account, the web server will show you a format. You're going to fill it up, and then that data that they've given will be stored in the database server. As you can see, that the contact doesn't happen like this. It doesn't happen like this. The contact happens like this. The client goes to the web server, and the web server goes to the database. The client and the database server doesn't do it. This is right. So because of this, we can say that the web server, yes, the web server is the front end server, because it has the front, it is talking to the client, front end server, and the database server as the back end server. Okay, so this is the front end server and this is the back end server, because the web server is talking to the client and the database, so it's talking to the client. That's why it's known as the front end server. But the back end server is only talking to the web server. So that's why the web server will be the front end server and the database server will be the back end server. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell and like the video. I'm going to be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.